welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, April 2nd, 2015. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Chief Education Officer Luan Gilchrist is pleading with parents to be more proactive in the educational development of their children. The Education Chief was speaking at the National Award Ceremony for Outstanding Students of the May-June 2014 Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate (CSEC) and the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment the CPEA examinations. Gilchrist told the gathering at the Methodist Church Hall, ill discipline is a serious problem that the Education Department is dealing with, and parents could play a greater role to curb this matter.
Parents who are not engaged with their children's success will have to deal with the consequences of that lack of engagement. As a matter of fact, in the Ministry of Education, in the schools, we are grappling with problems related to antisocial behavior. We need the support of the parents and the communities to address the issues of ill discipline. Ill discipline is a serious threat to students' development.
And the Chief Education Officer of Chief Executive Officer of Lyme, Leslie Jack, told the students sacrifices must be made today for the success to be enjoyed tomorrow. Jack congratulated those who have been taking their academic development seriously and implored those who aren't to get on board and work harder.
You need to make the necessary sacrifice to go out and win, to go out and succeed. Those of you who put in the commitment, those who forego the latest fet, those who switch off their TVs, have the discipline to manage their time on social media, you will be successful.
Jack also emphasized that punctuality is an essential aspect of being successful, and that tardiness is something many have to work on from a young age so that they can have a competitive edge, especially in the workplace.
Particularly the discipline, the simple thing of getting to work on time. The simple task of getting to work on time. And when you're working in an environment as Limes, where it's very competitive, you need to be on your ball at all times. So I will urge you to start exercising that level of discipline now as you go to school. My mom had to beat it into me at a very young age. Some of you are perhaps a lot more disciplined than I were and could simply adapt on your own. But I'm urging you to do so now. Start practicing now, whether it's school, for class, what have you. Make sure you're there 10-15 minutes ahead and you're basically prepped and ready to go.
The government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is hoping to pass by mid-year a new domestic violence bill. Minister of National Mobilisation, Frederick Stephenson, says his ministry continues to work assiduously to ensure the reduction of violence against women in SVG. Stephenson says in the last sitting of Parliament, the domestic violence bill was tabled and is at the moment before a select committee. Minister Stephenson adds that the bill seeks to complement and legally support victims of abuse.
I'm hoping that by Carnival this year, July, that we would have the domestic violence bill passed in the House of Parliament. So that would ensure that we're in keeping with the model legislations of the OECS. And after that would come the Juvenile Justice Bill, which would complement the entire 4 pieces of family model legislations. We're working, the ministry is working, and we have to commend the ministry for the tremendous work that we have done over the years in the reform of the ministry and the programs that are being put forward.
A number of teachers from both primary and secondary schools successfully concluded a STEM Teachers Workshop here yesterday. During the workshop, the teachers got the opportunity to acquire information communication technology skills that they will be able to take back to their classrooms. Director of the STEM program, Petrus Gums, says the purpose of the workshop was to introduce teachers to computer applications and software that would improve their job performance and enable them to keep up with the technological age.
You see that the software they have learned have reduced maybe a week work to maybe about 2 or 3 hours, or maybe an hour if they become very competent. So that is where I'm going to continue working with them to get them competent. So take for instance their school timetable. Some schools take 2 weeks to get that done. So one of the software will drop that down to a day. So the amount of time they spend doing these kind of manual work, they can spend more time, like planning a lesson, getting ready for their class. So these administrative tools, once they get them done, they can spend more time with the kids to get them prepared for exam or whatever the case may be. So we want to get teachers involved in using ICT administrative to help themselves. Just like how we're teaching the kids to help themselves, we want to get teachers to use this thing to help themselves as well.
SVG-TV spoke with 2 of the teachers who participated in the workshop. They described what they learned over a 3-day period as thought-provoking and helpful.
The workshop was very educational. We learned how to do a personal grade book electronically. We also learned timetabling and to do the reports of grades and so on.
Well, at first when our school was invited, I really wanted to go because the invitation stated that you can absolutely software application will be presented to teachers to make what is that classroom teaching, better. So I said I really should go because all the kids have laptops, the teachers have laptops, and we're really trying to move away from chalk and talk in the classroom. So I thought it would be very good for me to learn a couple of software applications to make teaching more, helpful and easier and more interesting for the kids.
I will encourage them very much. It's very educational, and even teachers from my school, I will, I don't know if he will take any more from our school, but it's something that I think all teachers need to know. And in this technological advanced world, we need to know these things. We need to get into the computer. We need to be friendly with the computer.
Well, I'm very satisfied. My expectations were met. I'm very happy that I went along with other teachers from our school. I'm really grateful for STEM inviting us to this workshop because, it has encouraged us to use the software applications such as Google Drive and a program called Ngrade to make our lives easier as teachers so that we can have more time to prepare our lessons or spend more time with the children or whatever else it may be.
A senior citizen of Yambo walked out of the Serious Offences Court a free man earlier today on a charge of having in his possession a firearm without a license. When the matter came up for hearing, Chief Prosecutor Adolphus Delpesh told the Chief Magistrate he will not proceed with the case against 73-year-old Ulrich Marx. Marx's arrest stemmed from an execution of a warrant which was carried out by the police at his Yambo home on November 9, 2014, when a 12-gauge shotgun was discovered. At the time, several persons were living at the Marx home. Calypsonians and soca artists interested in participating in this year's Best Song Competition, that's the Best New Song Competition, organized by the Carnival Development Corporation, can now register, as forms are now available at the CDC's office. The CDC says registration closes on Tuesday the 21st April and audition would be held on Wednesday the 22nd April 2015. All registration forms must be accompanied by a copy of the song on a CD which should be ready for airplay. The Best New Song Competition forms part of the official opening of Vincy Mass, which is scheduled for Saturday, 2nd May. Still to come, Roman Catholic Bishop says the true meaning of Easter seems to be lost. More stories on the local scene when SVG-TV News continues. Easter is described as the most significant time on the Christian calendar, and Bishop of the Roman Catholic Church here, Msgr Charles Jason Gordon, believes that it is a reflection of not only the power but the love of God. Earlier today, Bishop Gordon explained to SVG-TV News that Jesus went through terrible suffering to prove his love on the cross where he died, but humans continue to rebuff his love by rejecting him.
God came to give us love, and we rejected that love. And so what we have is not just a drama of human suffering, it's a drama of divine suffering and divine rejection, that we rejected God's offer of love. And yet, in the midst of that rejection, God would raise from the dead his Son, Jesus Christ our Lord. And that resurrection now says to us that the divine love will always triumph over our sin sickness, over our darkness, over our violence, over our pain, over everything, that this divine love will triumph, and this divine love will be true. No matter what we do and how bad we are, the divine love will always break through, because death cannot have the last say, because Jesus Christ was raised from the dead. And so death is now put to death through the resurrection light.
Bishop Gordon expressed concern that instead of remembering the sacredness of God's death and resurrection, people are instead finding the time as a holiday to party and have a good time. He warned that to an extent, many will becoming hedonistic.
So everywhere now, it seems as if everything has to be a carnival. So on Good Friday is a carnival. On Easter Sunday is a carnival. On Ash Wednesday, imagine schools in our country on Ash Wednesday could do nothing better than to have a sports day. The day when we start remembering this 40 days of time where we're coming up to the resurrection, that's the time that schools want to have sports day and another carnival. And so we're losing the sense of the sacred, because we're becoming a civilization that is a civilization that is grounded in hedonism. And there's no other way to say it. Hedonism is an old philosophy: maximize your pleasure, minimize your pain. And as I look at civilization in the Caribbean today, we are becoming a hedonistic society.
The Roman Catholic bishop says the notion to delay gratification for a greater cause is now frowned upon. He cautions that if youngsters are not taught this core value, the society will perish.
Learning, not becoming a people of tolerance. We're not becoming a people of reflection. We're not becoming a people of depth. We're not becoming a people who are delaying gratification. And EQ, which is delaying gratification, is one of the ingredients of building real civilization. And we're not offering it at this time to our people. So while we're celebrating Easter, and while this is the celebration of all celebrations, what we're doing in our society to celebrate it, many quarters of our society are not understanding the significance of the Easter message, and many quarters of our society are actually living against the Easter message. Because when we go to hedonism, we're really going to a culture of death. And we're going to a culture of decadence and a culture of decay. Because when that becomes the culture, then fidelity in marriage is not the culture. And then being faithful to your partner is not the culture. Then having the sacrifice to bring up your children, that's not the culture. Disciplining your children is not the culture, because you're not showing the witness yourself, so how can you discipline the children?
Residents of Oria are invited to be part of the Faith Word Ministries Love Fest, which will be held there on Easter Monday. The event, currently in its 11th year, seeks to reach out to the less fortunate in communities across the country. Speaking to SVG-TV, Bishop of the Faith Word Ministries Church, Ian Beach, says this event is a great way for the residents of Oria to come together and celebrate Easter, adding that there will be booths set up to cater to the holistic needs of the public.
This year's Love Fest, we are seeking to be there again, as I said, 9 o'clock. We are going to have our usual ministry of the word, but we are going to actually set up things like counseling booths, that people who have got their concerns and their problems, can speak to somebody, on a one-to-one basis. We're going to have areas where prayers could be said, and we are actually inviting the post people of Oria and the surroundings to make it a date. Love Fest this year, Easter Monday, the 6th of April, beginning at 9 o'clock until about 3-4 o'clock.
Bishop Beach says the event is not so much for the church, but to help build the entire nation.
And we have ministries in Greggs, Walvaroo, and Barley. We only have like 4 churches, as it were. But we have gone wide and far in the community, right? But in so doing, we involve the pastors, the other pastors that are in the district, to be a part and parcel, because this is not about Faith Ward Ministries getting glory. This is for the kingdom of God to be established and to know that God has left people in the earth who can basically fulfill his purpose that he has commissioned us to basically do.
And with concerns that Vincentians have lost the true meaning of the Easter celebrations, SVG-TV News took to the streets of Kingston today to find out just how some persons will be passing the time.
Is to go in church and enjoy yourself in the Lord. That's it. Why? Why? Because God has sent his son into this world and he paid the price for us, and we should go and give back God
life through the resurrection of Jesus. That's what Easter means to me. And that's my hope, that one of these days I'll be resurrected too.
To know I have new life because Christ died and rose victoriously for me. So that's it.
How will you be spending your Easter?
Well, for sure, church. And then the Easter Monday, some little outing, some way, and the West Coast, East Coast, for sure. I'm from Barrel, so I'm going to Georgetown or something like that, right? To enjoy it.
What does Easter mean to you, ma'am?
Nothing.
It's something that Vincent can look forward to, more than Christmas, because of the meaning of it.
And why?
Because it's Jesus, it's all about Jesus, you know. Some people shop just similar like Christmas, but Easter is where it speaks of us as being a people, a religious people, a nation that fear God.
Because Beck will have lots of fun for the Easter. But a lot of people are focusing on fun. Do you think the essence of Easter is being lost with Jesus Christ? I think so. That's true. I think this Sunday you should go to church first, and then if you want to go to the beach after, you take your kids to the beach and have a little beach fun. But different to that, I think they should put Jesus before everything.
Well, the Easter for me is very nice and wonderful, you know. I like everybody to just enjoy themselves just like me with my little daughter, you know, because it's just the same. Every day we struggle and we're looking for something in life, you know. And I'm glad to proud of the Easter, looking everybody walking around and shopping just like me. I really love it.
But most persons are thinking that the essence of Easter, of Jesus Christ, is being lost. Do you think that is being lost?
No, Jesus Christ is never lost. Jesus Christ all time be there for we in any way, in anything we do. And he said that we shopping, he said that we have pain, and Christ says he is the man for we.
Well, we will be going on a retreat at the Monk Oak Center. Church of God of Prophecy Connery will be holding a retreat there from Friday to Monday morning. We are under the theme Abide in Me, Rest in Your Blessed Portion.
Well, Easter means a lot to us with Christ and stuff, but because of sexy, we're not going to be able to do much this weekend.
True. What about you?
Same. It means same.
I celebrate quite a lot because when I come and meet my old parents, them celebrating Easter, so I do the same thing.
And what are some of the traditional things they did to celebrate Easter?
Well, we use roast breadfruit, sweet potato, mackerel, smoked herring, and sometimes we use catfish.
You think that the essence of going to church is being lost?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie about that one, that's true.
But you're still going to have a good time?
I still gonna have a good time. Most people believe in drinking and partying over Easter, but the church thing ain't like before. We'll get punished for it one of these days, man.
We'll be going to church, Catholic, tomorrow church, Sunday church also, and Monday we're going to Bethlene to spend the Easter on the Catholic boat ride. Well, happy Easter to you and to you. Same to you.